Chapter 51 Unexpected Harvest, First Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Zhan handed the gold coin card in his hand to Su Yun. Master Han, there are 300,000 gold coins in this card, which can be regarded as some kindness from our Xiao family. A trace of surprise flashed across Su Yun's face, but he was really interested. Su Yun nodded, took the gold coin card from Xiao Zhan's hand, and put it into the system space. I'm not being polite. These 300,000 gold coins are nothing to him now, but it is a huge sum of money to the Xiao family. After Su Yun accepted the gold coin card, he left the Xiao family. If there were no mistakes, he might not appear in front of the Xiao family as Han Li in a short time. As soon as Su Yun left Xiao's house, a charming figure appeared in front of his eyes, Yafei. How did she appear here? Su Yun was a little puzzled. Master Han. Seeing Su Yun approaching, Yafei hurriedly walked in front of Su Yun. What's up? Su Yun's expression was flat and he couldn't see any expression. With the power of Middle's auction house, it is not difficult to pry out the exits from the two companies and inquire about news. He didn't feel strange either. With a smile on her face, Yafei brushed her messy hair behind her ears and took out a magic core from the ring. The small mouth painted with flaming red lips faced Su Yun, opening and closing. Master Han, please look. Saying that, Yafei handed the magic core in her hand to Su Yun. Su Yun took it, feeling the familiar power in the magic core, raised his eyebrows. A second-order Blue Eagle magic core. Good. As she said that, the smile on Yafei's face became even wider. She was still wearing a fiery red dress, exuding a femininity all over her body. The body is exquisite and clear, with the graceful curves that women dream of. Looking at it makes people feel thirsty. In the low-necked top, Su Yun was a bit taller than Yafei. From his perspective, he could just see the faintly emerging career line. Even if he has experienced the internet age in his previous life, Su Yun has seen all kinds of young ladies on a certain music and received the teachings of many teachers. I also have to admit that the woman in front of me is fatally attractive to men and can arouse the most primitive desires of men. Su Yun collected his mind and looked at Yafei. What kind of reward do you want? Let's say it first, I will not join your middle family. A charming smile appeared on Yafei's face. She found this thing from Zhang Kaidao's residence. That's right, it's Zhang Kaidao's residence. Just yesterday, her people found a thatched hut outside the Warcraft mountains. After some searching, this was determined, and this magic core was discovered from there. Hearing Yafei's explanation, Su Yun was a little bit astonished. There is actually a surprise, fighting monsters, explosive equipment. Although Su Yun was a little surprised in his heart, he didn't show it on his face. It was just an expression that was as expected. Yafei quietly observed Su Yun's expression. Really? Yesterday, when she got the non-magic core, she had a vague guess. Seeing Su Yun's reaction now, she was even more sure. Master Han wanted to kill that person, not because of grudges, but because he wanted Lan Ying's magic core. Coincidentally, both the Xiao family and Yafei misinterpreted Su Yun's real purpose and deviated from the correct answer. It can only be said that these people are sometimes too smart. Yafei knew it well, and took out a parchment scroll from the ring, which looked like a map. Yafei looked respectful and said to Su Yun. Master Han, this is where the Blue Eagles gathered. We dug out Zhang Kaidao's notes from that room. His prosthetic eye was pecked blind when he was besieged by 3 second-order Blue Eagles. Yafei explained the contents of the notes in detail. It turned out that the 3 monsters that besieged Zhang Kaitao were the 3 Blue Eagles. Zhang Kaitao accidentally broke into the gathering place of the Blue Eagles a few years ago, was besieged by the 3 Blue Eagles, and lost one eye. Later, holding a grudge, he drew this place as a map. He attacked Xiaolan before, probably because Xiaolan is also from the Blue Eagle clan, and the second-order Blue Eagle magic core in Su Yun's hand was dug out from the body of a Blue Eagle he killed when he was besieged. As for the other 2, not all monsters in the Dou Qi Continent have magic cores in their bodies. Often the higher the level of Warcraft, the more likely it is to have a magic core in its body. 3 second-order Blue Eagles, with a magic core, not bad. Su Yun took the map, and a trace of fire flashed in his eyes. There is still such a harvest. He has already tried Xiaolan's next advanced method. 1 third-order Blue Eagle magic core, 3 second-order Blue Eagle magic cores. This map comes at just the right time. Putting the map into the system space, Su Yun set his sights on Yafei. I will leave Wutan City in a few days, what reward do you want? Yafei was startled, she was leaving. Yafei hurriedly sorted out her thoughts, thinking about what to do to maximize her benefits. After thinking for a while, Yafei finally spoke. Master, I don't need a reward, I can even mobilize the power of Middle's auction house to help you hunt blue eagles together, I just need a favor from you. Ah. Smart woman, Su Yun chuckled, and his evaluation of Yafei was even higher. It's not unreasonable for this woman to gain a foothold in Wutan City and control the branch based on her business acumen alone, without being ostracized. Okay, I agree. But I don't need to help with the hunting. Su Yun said to Yafei. Hearing this, Yafei was a little anxious. Help, why not let me help? The more you work hard, the heavier the weight of this favor will be. Master, although Elder Quang Tang has left Wutan City, but our branch still has no shortage of strong fighters at the level of big fighters, and the Blue Eagle is a flying monster, if you want to hunt, unless you reach the cultivation base of Do Wang and can fly, otherwise, the more people you have, the more. Yafei anxiously said to Su Yun. She only spoke halfway, but suddenly stopped, and suddenly raised her head to look at Su Yun, with an unconcealable astonishment on her face. Su Yun looked at Yafei with a smile, and there was a deep meaning in his eyes. Make up your brain, make everything reasonable. Yafei couldn't bear it any longer, and took a sharp breath, contributing to the greenhouse effect of Dou Qi Continent, Do Wang. The Master Han in front of him is not only a fourth-grade pharmacist, but also at least a fighter at the level of a fighting king. Yafei's back was already wet with cold sweat, and the red top was pressed against her body, making her graceful curves more conspicuous. You are a smart person, you know what to say and what not to say. Yafei understands. Su Yun nodded in satisfaction. This must scare her, otherwise, if it spreads out and Luo Qianchen finds out, it will be hard to explain. After all, he was in the Alchemist Guild at that time, and the cultivation level he showed was only a fighter. That's it, Yafei wishes Master all the best. Su Yun nodded and walked away. Chapter 53 Su Yun's Strength, Third Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It must be done quickly, as the battle time elongated, the smell of blood spread farther and farther. It will be troublesome if it attracts other powerful monsters. Although he has the system space to save his life, he doesn't have to worry about his life, but it's better to hurry back. After a long time, that girl will be worried. Su Yun put away his thoughts and brandished the long sword. The long sword was as sharp as autumn frost, and the battle energy in his body was surging like the Yangtze River, pouring into the cold jade sword that a huge vindictiveness condensed in it, advanced Xian-level fighting skills, clear frost and white dew. Snowflakes condensed one after another around the cold jade sword, surrounding the sword, and the cold air was lingering. Scatter! Su Yun snarled and floated in the air. The snowflakes condensed by the cold fighting energy flew towards the rushing blue eagle with huge energy. Snowflakes are beautiful, but the more beautiful things are, the more dangerous they are. Snowflakes fell on blue eagle's body one after another, and the moment they touched them, they exploded immediately. Over the Warcraft mountains, there were piercing sounds one after another. Su Yun's fighting skills are basically comprehended from the fusion function of the system. The same is true for Qingshuan Bailu, which has naturally been completed, although this fighting skill is not as powerful as the low-level fighting skills of the Earth level after Bajibing de Shang, its power is not bad. The snowflakes are in full bloom, harvesting the life of the blue eagle. One after another, the blue eagles lost their breath and fell to the ground. 2 third-order blue eagles screamed, hatred flashed in their humanized eagle eyes. Su Yun is now an 8-star great fighter, and the cold jade sword is a 4th-order magic core sword. With a full body configuration, it can be called gorgeous in this overweight empire. With this attack, there were only 5 seriously injured Tier 2 blue eagles and the 2 of them left in the air. Without hesitation, Su Yun swung the cold jade sword again. The sword was cold and sharp, and the cold sword was full of killing intent. Frozen jade. 7 icy grudges attacked them. There is no suspense. Although the 5 second-order blue eagles survived by chance, their bodies were no longer so flexible because of Su Yun's cold fighting spirit. There is no way to hide from the cold ice and broken jade. 5 icy grudges knocked them down at the same time, the other two third-order Blue Eagles flew across the sky and charged towards Su Yun. The Blue Eagle is known for its speed, although the speed of Su Yun's Ice Shard Jade is not bad. However, neither of the two Blue Eagles suffered major injuries, and their speed was not affected much. The frost-broken Jade also had only 2 vindictive energy to slash at them, so it didn't hit them. Su Yun wasn't surprised, and he didn't expect to solve them so easily. Pushing Ziyunyi behind him, the lavender light became brighter, and Su Yun immediately disappeared in place. The two Blue Eagles couldn't help but slow down because they lost their target, Hawkeye, which was originally filled with anger, flashed a trace of doubt and anxiety. Suddenly, a flash of sword light appeared. A faint cold light flashed across the blade of the Hanyu sword, as light as a frightened bird, as graceful as a swimming dragon. Profound level intermediate fighting skill, Frost Slash. Deshang's Frost Slash, combined with the Tier 4 Demon Core Sword, even a Tier 4 monster can't resist, let alone a Tier 3 Blue Eagle that is not good at defense. The first third-order Blue Eagle, die. Su Yun's figure reappeared, and with his other hand, he grabbed the Blue Eagle's body and put it directly into the system space. The other third-order Blue Eagle saw this scene, and a trace of fear flashed in its eyes. The third-tier demonic beast already possessed some wisdom. When it saw Su Yun, who was like a god of killing, its eyes were filled with anger. A cold light flashed in Su Yun's eyes. How could he let you go? Su Yun's sword was like a swimming dragon, and with another frost slash, another Blue Eagle's corpse appeared in the system space. Call. Su Yun took a long breath, slightly calmed down the fighting spirit in his body, took out a few recovery pills from the system space, and swallowed them. Although the battle just now looked relaxed and freehand, it was entirely based on his gorgeous configuration. If it were a big fight master, the terror would be besieged to death by these Blue Eagles. Even for him, about 3 or 4 layers of fighting skills were consumed in this battle. Su Yun didn't stop in the air, but immediately flew to the ground, intending to collect Lan Ying's body and leave here. Back on the ground, Su Yun didn't put away Ziyunyi and Henyujian. Anything can happen in the Warcraft mountains, so be careful. After a while, Su Yun recovered half of Lan Ying's body, and a wolf-shaped monster suddenly appeared from the forest. Su Yun's heart skipped a beat, and he resolutely gave up the other Blue Eagle corpses, urged Ziyunyi, and immediately flew into the air. This is a blood wolf, a group of monsters. It seems that only one has appeared now, but the surrounding area may be surrounded by groups of blood wolves. In the air, Su Yun could clearly see the situation on the ground. Sure enough, 100 meters away, nearly 100 blood wolves were slowly moving towards here. Among them, the blood wolves of the second and third ranks are the main ones. He is not on the same level of strength as Lan Ying at all. Su Yun frowned slightly, and decisively flew out of the Warcraft mountain range. Dog. At this time, Su Yun's purpose as a person was fully revealed. With his strength and air superiority, he can completely slaughter this group of blood wolves, but there is no need for this at all. He has already put most of Blue Eagle's corpses into the system space. Unless he suffered from bad luck today, Xiaolan's magic core for advanced is definitely enough. In just a short while, nearly 100 blood wolves were provoked. It's worth it after a long time. It's just some Blue Eagle carcasses, just give it to them. Another half an hour later, Su Yun returned to Wutan City. Su Yun came to Fengshe and bought some oranges and jewelry. He will not forget what he promised to the little doctor. Su Yun put everything into the ring and walked towards home. Su Yun frowned. Xiao Yan. How did this kid come out? Now his appearance is his real appearance, a boy of 12 or 13 years old. I'm not afraid that this kid will recognize him. Xiao Yan walked on the road and looked at his own square city, feeling a little confused. According to the family rules, if he didn't reach the 7th stage of fighting spirit before the age of 16, then he will be dispatched to the family's property to handle those complicated and trivial matters for the family. Maybe the best result for him in the future is to be a manager in this city. Xiao Yan smiled bitterly. In fact, this level of identity is already very good compared to his previous life. In Blue Star, he was just a 996 lucky newspaper in the company, a small employee who died suddenly. The manager of Fengshe is much better than this. It's just that I'm still not reconciled. After finally coming to this wonderful continent of Dou Qi, did he become a small supervisor in the end? Su Yun observed for a while and found that he had no suicide attempt, so he nodded and went back on his own. This kid will be confused now, and in a few years, he will rise. Chapter 54 Tier 3 Warcraft, Xiaolan, First Update. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Su Yun walked in the direction of home. Xiao Yan happened to follow behind Su Yun. Looking at Su Yun's back, Xiao Yan was a little puzzled. Why did he feel familiar? Then he shook his head again, probably an illusion. He lived reclusively in the Xiao family and rarely came out, so it was impossible for him to know such a young man of the same age. When Su Yun came home, the little fairy doctor was lying on the table, and her slender hands were fiddling with the hair. Seeing this scene, Su Yun smiled and coughed lightly. Cough cough. Hearing this voice, the little fairy doctor immediately turned his gaze. Elder brother, that the little fairy doctor had a sweet smile on his face. Su Yun walked to the little fairy doctor, sat down, and took out the jewelry and oranges. Hey, what you want? The little fairy doctor looked at Su Yun with a smile in his eyes. The girl's heart was filled with a strong sense of happiness and satisfaction. The little fairy doctor picked up an orange and slowly peeled off the skin. Brother eats first. The little fairy doctor handed the orange to Su Yun's mouth. A trace of teasing flashed in Su Yun's eyes, and he held the two weak and slender fingers of the little fairy doctor in his mouth together. Elder brother, a trace of shame flashed across the face of the little fairy doctor, and she patted Su Yun gently with her other hand. Su Yun released the little doctor's finger and swallowed the orange. Ha ha ha. Brother is bullying. For a moment, cheerful laughter and the girl's embarrassing voice were heard in the room. After fighting with the little fairy doctor for a while, Su Yun came to the yard and released all the blue eagle corpses in the system space. A cold light flashed in his hand, and a cold jade sword appeared in his hand. Su Yun searched one by one, busy for quite a while. Finally, there were 13 first-order magic cores, 9 second-order magic cores, and 2 third-order magic cores in the system space. There was a strong smell of blood in the yard. Su Yun didn't react much. He was used to fighting. It was just a little taste, not worth mentioning. Xiaolan, come here. Su Yun raised his head to look at the roof, and shouted to Xiaolan who was resting. Chirp. Xiaolan let out a meek low cry, spread her wings and flew to the ground, and came to Su Yun. Xiaolan folded her wings. Su Yun caressed its blue feathers. Speaking of which, the child's original fate was not very good. The little fairy doctor took it to the Azumo Empire, lived in a small village, and was taken in by a pair of old people. If little Dr. Fairy were an ordinary girl, then they should be there and have a warm and happy time. It's just that the sky fails to fulfill people's wishes, at this moment, as at that moment. The evil physique of the little Doctor Immortal exploded. The pair of old people in Xiaolan are just like the little doctor and Immortal's mother when they were young. He died at the hands of the little fairy doctor. Of course, now he will not let this happen again. System. Fuse Xiaolan with a third-order Blue Eagle Magic Core and 3 second-order Blue Eagle Magic Cores. Ding, a fusion solution has been detected, and an additional third-order Magic Core is required. May I ask if you want to fuse it? Fusion. Following Su Yun's order, 5 magic cores in the system space disappeared, turning into a strange energy and entering Xiaolan's body. Xiaolan's body began to grow at a speed visible to the naked eye. The original blue feathers began to fall off, and at the same time, more vivid and darker feathers grew back. The 2 eagle eyes became sharper, piercing and full of oppression. If ordinary fighters look at it, they will feel a chill. Su Yun watched Xiaolan's transformation and nodded. Xiaolan's evolved appearance and physique are similar to those of the 2 third-order blue eagles. After a while, Xiaolan's changes stopped. Tier 3 Warcraft. This level corresponds to the great fighter among human beings. With Xiaolan's protection, the little fairy doctor will be much safer in Wutan City, and he can rest assured to plan Qinglian's inner fire. After the transformation was completed, Xiaolan couldn't help but howl to the sky, spread her wings and flew high, hovering above the house. After a while, Xiaolan seemed to have had enough, and flew back to Su Yun's side. At this time, the little fairy doctor also came out of the room and stood beside Su Yun. Brother, what level of monster is Xiaolan now? That the little fairy doctor looked at the more mighty and extraordinary Xiaolan, and couldn't help but raised her head to ask Su Yun. Tier 3. Hearing this, the little fairy doctor widened her eyes, covered her mouth with her small hand, and let out an exclamation. The little fairy doctor couldn't help but go up. look left and touch right. Su Yun was amused by her cute appearance, and let out a chuckle. Hearing Su Yun's laughter, the little fairy doctor turned around and glared at Su Yun. This girl, Xiaolan, looked at the little fairy doctor who was lying on her body, and didn't make any movement, just let her observe her. The third order demonic beast has initially possessed some spiritual intelligence, and it also has some understanding of the behavior of the mistress, the little doctor fairy. Even when it just evolved, it flew high for the first time, feeling the difference in itself. The little fairy doctor fiddled with Xiaolan for a while, but refused to come down. Su Yun rolled his eyes, and went back to his room to practice. Just after Su Yun entered, a trace of silence flashed across the little fairy doctor's face. My elder brother is a great fighting master, even Xiaolan is now a tier 3 Warcraft, and as for me, I'm still at the fighting spirit stage. I still need their protection. Am I useless? Xiaolan seemed to see that the little fairy doctor was depressed, so she stroked the little fairy doctor with her wings. It didn't know why the little fairy doctor was suffering, so it could only cry twice, hoping to comfort her. Feeling Xiaolan's care, the little fairy doctor felt the silence in her heart dissipate a lot, resting her cheeks with her little hands. A flash of firmness flashed in the little fairy doctor's heart. I want to practice. Seriously. The next day, Su Yun turned into Hanli again. Sienna, go. Come out with me. The little fairy doctor was a little puzzled when he heard this. Where to? Su Yun patiently explained to her. While he was going to the Great Tagore Desert, he was going to entrust the little doctor fairy to Luo Qianchen. Although Xiaolan is now a tier 3 Warcraft, but it is not convenient to go in and out of Wutan City. If the little doctor is being watched by someone when he goes to buy supplies, it will be over if Xiaolan is not around. He had already discussed this matter with Luo Qianchen. 1 year, after taking care of the little fairy doctor for a year, he helped Luo Qianchen break through to the 4th rank pharmacist. He already knew the reason why the old man couldn't break through, so he just used this to take care of the little fairy doctor. During this period of contact, he has carefully considered the past and is worthy of trust. What? Brother is leaving Yuten City? The little fairy doctor's face was full of astonishment. She had already gotten used to living with Su Yun, but now that Su Yun suddenly said that he wanted to leave, she was at a loss. Does my brother dislike Sienna and wants to abandon Sienna? The little fairy doctor stared at Su Yun with tears in his eyes. It's so good, Sienna is so cute, how could my brother leave Sienna alone? Su Yun wiped the tears on the little doctor's face with his hands, and comforted him. Chapter 55 Breakthrough, 9-Star Fighter, Second Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then why did my brother leave Wutan City without taking Sienna with him? The little fairy doctor let Su Yun's big hand caress her face. Because it's very dangerous there, brother can't protect Sienna's safety. Su Yun explained. The place where my brother is going is much more dangerous than Wutan City. There are many 4th-tier monsters, and even 5th-tier monsters. Really? The little fairy doctor blinked and blinked, staring at Su Yun's eyes. Su Yun smiled wryly. How can brother lie to Sienna so well? Of course it's true. But, why does my brother help Xiaolan improve her strength, but not me? My brother is so powerful that he can even turn Xiaolan from a 1st-level monster into a 3rd-level monster. Why does he ignore me? Hearing this, Su Yun was a little silent. The little fairy doctor is still staring at Su Yun's eyes. She must give an explanation today. After being silent for a while, Su Yun still spoke. Sienna, you are my brother's closest friend. If possible, my brother will definitely help Sienna improve her strength, but now is not the time. Is Sienna willing to trust her brother? Su Yun and the little doctor looked at each other. After a long time, the little fairy doctor finally broke the silence. Sienna believes in my brother, but my brother must come back. Hearing this, Su Yun finally breathed a sigh of relief. The little girl has grown up and has her own ideas. A flash of relief flashed in Su Yun's heart, but just as he said, now is not the time, the little fairy doctor tidied up her makeup, and followed Su Yun to Luo Qianchen's home. After a while. Coming. Seeing the figures of the two, a kind smile flashed across Luo Qianchen's face. Lao Lao, this child, I will trouble you during this time. Luo Qianchen looked at the little girl next to Su Yun and nodded. It was agreed before that I will definitely take good care of her. Well, when I come back, I will definitely help Yao Lao become a 4th-grade alchemist. At this time, in the sky, Xiaolan who followed the two also flew to the ground. This is the blue eagle I raised, please. Luo Qianchen was a little surprised when he heard the words. As expected of a 4th-rank pharmacist, he even kept a tier 3 blue eagle. Good. Nodding his head, Su Yun explained a few more words to the little doctor and left. The little fairy doctor looked at Su Yun's back with some reluctance. Okay, kid, come in with me, old man, I will definitely take good care of you. If you don't mind, you can treat this place as your own home. Luo Qianchen, with an amiable aura on his body, said to the little fairy doctor. Okay, Grandpa. Hearing this, a kind smile appeared on Luo Qianchen's face again. When he got home, Su Yun was also a little reluctant to part with the little fairy doctor, but he still had more important things to do. A month later, a tyrannical atmosphere appeared in the house. Su Yun got up from the bed, stretched, and his bones cracked. He hadn't gone out for 2 months, and he stayed at home during this time, practicing. The effect of practicing wholeheartedly is really different. It had only been 2 months since he became an 8-star great fighter, and he had successfully broken through to become a 9-star great fighter. Before the little fairy doctor was still there, he still needed to accompany the little doctor to relieve boredom, and spend a lot of time on her every day. Su Yun entrusted her to Luo Qianchen so quickly. There may be some reason for this. Parting is for a better reunion. Su Yun gnawed on the dry food, and already began to miss the meals carefully prepared by the little Dr. Fairy every day. According to the original estimate, it should take 5 months for him to break through the Douling. But now that he has become a 9-star great fighter so quickly, it shouldn't take that long. Su Yun breathed in the yard for a while, then immediately returned to the room and began to practice. When he was alone, he didn't have much entertainment, as if he hadn't met the little fairy doctor yet. Rest for a while, and fall into penance again. Time passed, and another 2 months passed. The Dou Qi in Su Yun's body was full and became saturated again, and he already felt the obvious bottleneck. Feeling the bottleneck in his body, Su Yun fell into deep thought. If you rely on water to grind your kung fu and polish it carefully, I am afraid it will take another 2 months to break through successfully. But he now has 2 other options. First, pills. Second, fight. Now he still has a piece of pill formula in his hand that can allow him to break through the bottleneck and become a fighting spirit. But the embarrassing thing is that among the medicinal materials for refining this elixir, one of the medicinal materials is extremely rare, and he does not have it in hand. Moreover, it is not practical to mobilize forces to find them. As far as he knows, this medicinal material is a specialty of the southeast continent. And the Jiejia Empire is located in the corner of the northwest continent, and this kind of medicinal material is basically not circulated in the market. Su Yun shrugged. Let's go to the Warcraft mountains again. In the process of fighting, the battle energy in the body will violently surge. The higher the intensity of the battle, the stronger the battle chi will be. In this case, the bottleneck in the body will be shaken, and even cracks will appear. With luck, even breaking through on the spot is not out of the question, just like Xiao Yan in the inner court trials of Canaan Academy. Of course, he didn't dare to think about this kind of treatment. As long as there was a crack in the bottleneck, it would be enough. Su Yun sorted out the equipment and put the dry food at home into the system space. After preparing together, we set off to the Warcraft mountains. Go doesn't mean cowardly. Just like when he just broke through as a fighter, he doesn't mind being in danger if necessary. After all, the ability of the system space is quite buggy. In terms of life preservation, it is incomparable to the 3 major functions of the system. Su Yun entered the Warcraft mountain range. This time he didn't intend to just stay on the periphery. There are basically no monsters above tier 4 in the periphery, and with his current strength, tier 3 monsters can't give him any pressure at all. Leapfrog challenges are basically a must-have skill for every traverser, and he is no exception. Su Yun didn't use Xian Wing to hurry. The spiritual intelligence of the 4th order monsters is not low, and they know what it means to unite against the enemy. Humans and Warcraft are natural antagonists. If he appears in the sky inside the Warcraft mountains, once he is noticed, as long as a monster shouted, he would probably be surrounded by countless monsters. He is going to break through the bottleneck, not to die, to barge in like Yun Yun swaggeringly. One must have enough strength. After a while, Su Yun came to the inside of the Warcraft Mountain range, he had already cast the mysterious shadow art, completely concealing his aura and figure. The practicality of this fighting skill is really good. Use Xuanyingzhe to cooperate with Sayunyi. Don't say it, you really don't say it, you can fly in directly, but this way the grudge will be consumed very quickly, it's unnecessary. Su Yun stopped at a peak inside the Warcraft mountain range to observe, planning to pick a single 4th order Warcraft first, and warm up his hands first. The interior of the Warcraft mountain range is not small, and it is not difficult to find some Warcraft that are alone and not with the group. Chapter 56 The Ice Two-Headed Dog, 3rd Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. While Su Yun was searching for his prey, 2 powerful grudges erupted not far away. Su Yun's expression changed drastically, and he immediately fled to the system space. 2 huge grudges are opposing each other, obviously a hostile relationship. The 2 momentums collided, and the resulting aftermath turned into a hurricane. The trees in the Warcraft mountains were rattling, the trees were blown by the strong wind, and the branches were dancing wildly. On the distant mountain peaks, huge rocks fell to the ground, making a loud noise like thunder. Su Yun was in the system space, sweating and cursing in his heart. God damn, what luck today. If he feels that there is nothing wrong, these 2 auras are all Do Huang. Where did so many fighting emperors come from? The Warcraft mountains nearby? For the first time, Su Yun had doubts about the memory of his previous life. Su Yun calmed down and wiped the cold sweat from his head. In the system space, he can also observe the situation outside. From his point of view, in the sky, there are 2 6th-order monsters facing each other. One of them is the Amethyst-winged Lion King. Su Yun frowned, and looked at the other monster. It was a canine monster with 2 heads. Ice Two-Headed Dog. After thinking for a moment, Su Yun recognized this monster. Ice Two-Headed Dog, if you leave now, I can pretend that nothing happened. In the sky, after a brief confrontation between the 2 monsters, the Amethyst-winged Lion King spoke first. The 2 humanized heads of the two-headed dog showed disdain. Humph, do you want me to go? Yes, give me this land and free up the cave you live in. The beast pupils of the Amethyst-winged Lion King were obviously angry. Don't force me. As he spoke, the Amethyst-winged Lion King roared at the Ice Two-Headed Dog. Ha ha ha, you think I don't know, your concubine, this period is the gestation period, how can you win me by yourself? Really laughed out loud. The 2-headed ice dog mocked for a while, and the 2 dogs let out a beating laugh. Hearing the conversation between the 2 beasts, Su Yun was taken aback for a moment, and then he had a flash of understanding. In the original book, the Amethyst-winged Lion King conceived a little Amethyst-winged Lion King, and how can there be only one mother? Is it possible that I can't insert myself, and the monsters are strong? A 6th level female monster will generally not mate with a monster below the 6th level. In other words, there should actually be a male Amethyst-winged Lion King, but a few years later, this male did not show up, probably because of this battle. It just happened to hit. Su Yun licked his tongue, with a trace of burning in his eyes. Generally speaking, beast fire is extracted from the body of monsters through special techniques, and turned into fire. However, Xiaoyan's purple fire is somewhat different. It is extracted from the accompanying purple crystal source. Because of this, Xiaoyan's purple fire is not as convenient as other people's beast fire. Every time you use it, you need to swallow his self-created purple fire pill, but it would be different if the fire was extracted from the Amethyst-winged Lion King in the sky. Su Yun looked at the Amethyst-winged Lion King with even more fiery eyes. Of course, he didn't want Zihua, but the huge energy when he devoured Zihua, this energy is enough for him to break through Douling. Su Yun waited patiently in the system space, observing the development of things. The frost two-headed dog looked at the Amethyst-winged Lion King gradually becoming unfriendly. How big is the area of Warcraft mountains? What Su Yun said about the inside of the Warcraft mountain range is just the tip of the iceberg near the depths of the Warcraft mountain range. And this ice two-headed dog is the monster that came from the depths of the monster mountain range. In the depths of the mountain range, there are many other more powerful monsters. It was squeezed out there and couldn't survive, so it set its sights on the territory of the Amethyst-winged Lion King. The Amethyst-winged Lion King gritted his teeth, making a hoarse sound through the crevices of his teeth. Mean. Humph, it doesn't matter if you're despicable or upright. Either you die or I die today. The ice two-headed dog snorted coldly. and began to eagerly try. He's been around here for a while, after all. He came from a deeper part of the demonic beast mountain range, and even if it was a sixth-order demonic beast, its strength was much stronger than the two amethyst-winged lion kings occupying here, but it just has an extra head, it cannot be cloned, and it is not a match for two sixth-order monsters, but heaven favored it. During this period, another amethyst-winged lion king was in its reproductive period, which gave it a chance. This is why the male amethyst-winged lion king is a little bit wary. The ice two-headed dog didn't talk nonsense with the amethyst-winged lion king, and rushed towards it with its huge body. Seeing this, the amethyst-winged lion king's expression changed, and he roared angrily. Instead of sitting still, he also went to kill the ice two-headed dog. The two beasts collided, making a deafening sound in the sky, and the fighting spirit in the body was surging, tearing a gap in the clouds. Su Yun looked dignified, observing this scene in the system space. The Do Huang powerhouse is so terrifying. This was the first time he had seen such a powerful monster. Two sixth-order monsters roared in the sky, and saw the two heads of the two-headed ice dog biting the amethyst-winged lion king. The amethyst-winged lion king was in pain, and the anger in his eyes was even worse. The amethyst-winged lion king's defense was not weak, and he was also the best among Warcraft, but the beast teeth of the two-headed ice dog were also sharp, and after a bite, a large piece of meat was torn off the body of the amethyst-winged lion king. The amethyst-winged lion king roared up to the sky, and stabbed at the ice two-headed dog with the horn on top of its head. Its horn is its hardest part, and the ice two-headed dog is not good at defense. If it stabs it, there will probably be an extra hole in its body. It's just that the two-headed dog seemed to have expected it long ago. With its flexible body, it leaned back and dodged the attack. The amethyst-winged lion king was a little annoyed when he failed in one blow, and roared again from the ferocious lion's mouth, just impotent rage. The ice double-headed dog has a mocking face and contemptuous eyes, and there is only one amethyst-winged lion king, and it can't do anything to it at all. Warcraft battles are not like humans, they won't win or lose too quickly. After all, as a monster, it has rough skin and thick flesh. So it is more resistant to beating. The two sides did not stop colliding for a moment, and all the monsters on the ground of the Warcraft mountains hid in their caves and did not come out. The flying monsters also returned to their lairs, not daring to fly in the air for fear of being affected by the aftermath. There was a smile on Su Yun's face, which was exactly what I wanted. This situation is just right for him to pick up the leak. He had already thought about it, and when the two sixth-order monsters died together, he would use all his strength to urge Zayunyi to pick up the corpses. The collision between the two beasts was fierce, but the hard power of the amethyst-winged lion king was inferior to that of the ice two-headed dog, and it was obviously at a disadvantage. Chapter 57 Amethyst Seal, First Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If this situation continues, the amethyst-winged lion king will probably be defeated. Su Yun looked at the situation in the sky, and a trace of doubt flashed in his eyes. The ice two-headed dog is much stronger than the amethyst-winged lion king. The amethyst-winged lion king had many wounds, large and small, and it was obvious that the injuries were serious. And the ice two-headed dog relied on its own advantages of agility to avoid many attacks from the amethyst-winged lion king, and its condition was much better. In this case, how did they end up together? Su Yun was slightly puzzled, and then looked up to the sky. Ha ha ha, give up struggling, I will win anyway. The ice two-headed dog laughed triumphantly. The amethyst-winged lion king was panting heavily, as if he had exhausted his fighting spirit. A trace of fatigue and powerlessness flashed in its angry pupils. Previously, the husband and wife relied on their excellent cooperation to take care of each other in battle, but they were not afraid of the speed of the two-headed ice dog. But today it is the only beast, and their race is not good at speed, and the teeth of the ice double-headed beast are also extremely sharp, which can completely tear its defense. Snort. Seeing that the amethyst-winged lion king didn't reply, the ice two-headed dog felt a little upset, and at the same time, the contempt in his eyes grew even worse. It's already the end of the battle. A hint of sinister flashed across the face of the ice two-headed dog. Kill the amethyst-winged lion king again. It has played enough cat and mouse games. Let's end it. The two heads of the ice two-headed dog bit the amethyst-winged lion king at the same time. The amethyst-winged lion king, seeing this scene, did not retreat. a flash of determination flashed in his heart. It didn't rush forward, nor did it dodge this attack, it just stayed where it was and waited for the two-headed ice dog to kill it. "Heh, stupid lion, you are all scared stupid." The face of the ice two-headed dog was full of mockery, and the two dog heads bit it fiercely. A trace of pain flashed across the face of the amethyst-winged lion king, and at the same time, its two front paws suddenly grabbed onto the ice two-headed dog. Frost two-headed dog felt uneasy and wanted to struggle out immediately. It's just that in order to achieve greater results in one fell swoop, the two dog heads bit the amethyst-winged lion king with all their strength, and for a while, the body could not use too much strength to struggle. The amethyst-winged lion king held down the ice two-headed dog tightly, and the battle energy in his huge body surged, arousing the energy of the heavens and the earth, causing waves in the sky, like the ebb and flow of sea water. The ice two-headed dog felt the wave of battle energy, and his face changed suddenly. Damn it. There was an angry lion roar from the giant mouth of the amethyst-winged lion king, and bursts of purple light flashed on the huge body, like a purple sun in the sky above the Warcraft mountains. Amethyst seal. Following the roar of the amethyst-winged lion king, a purple beam of light passed through the body of the frost two-headed dog. As the beam of light sank into the body of the two-headed dog, the fluctuations in its fighting spirit dropped significantly, and became weaker and weaker as time went by. Damn it, you can still use the sealing technique. The ice double-headed dog's humanized face was no longer as calm as before, and a trace of shock and anger flashed across the cunning expression. "Humph, so what if you seal my grudge? Our monsters are physically strong, and you are seriously injured now. After such a long battle, the fighting spirit in your body is no longer at its peak. This sealing technique consumes a lot of fighting spirit. How much vindictiveness do you still have now?" After the amethyst-winged lion king cast the amethyst seal, the restraint on the ice two-headed dog was loosened a bit. It took advantage of this gap and struggled out. There were still large pieces of flesh that had just been torn off in the mouths of the two dog heads. The amethyst-winged lion king's body was mixed with red and purple, and blood dripped continuously from his blood-stained body. "That's enough." The amethyst-winged lion king took the initiative to kill the ice two-headed dog with his seriously injured body. A pair of lion claws grabbed the body of the two-headed ice dog, and the two beasts fell from the sky into the Warcraft mountains. The loud noise echoed in the mountains and forests for a long time. Now the vindictiveness of the frost two-headed dog has been completely sealed, and it has no wings, so it cannot fly at all. The amethyst-winged lion king also wanted to use some energy to attack. The battlefield of the two beasts moved from the sky to the ground. As the two beasts fought, a large area of trees was overwhelmed, and the ground was in a mess. Wherever the two beasts went, no forest was intact. Even if the monster loses its fighting spirit, its physical body is still strong, but after all, it still has some impact on its combat power. Most obviously, the ice two-headed dog lost the blessing of fighting spirit, and its speed dropped significantly. The amethyst-winged lion king once again used its hard horn to try to stand on the ice two-headed dog. This time it succeeded. The horn of the amethyst-winged lion king is the hardest and sharpest part of it. The ice two-headed dog is not good at its fleshy body. This horn directly penetrates the body of the ice two-headed dog. "Ah!" The two-headed ice dog howled in pain. This battle continued until now, and it was the first time it had suffered such serious injuries. The eyes of the ice two-headed dog were bloodshot, fighting with the amethyst-winged lion king. Up to now, they are all jealous. Either you die or I die. Su Yun looked at the two beasts in the distance, thinking about it. It's almost the end. The blow just now by the amethyst-winged lion king directly penetrated the body of the ice two-headed dog, and blood gushed out from its wound. With a flash, Su Yun returned to the Warcraft mountain range. The violent breath rushed towards his face, and the strong wind blew on his face, and he felt a sting. A flash of shock flashed in Su Yun's heart. This momentum is beyond what he can imagine now. After all, he is just a big fighter now. If it weren't for the system space, he might have been crushed into minced meat by the aftermath of the battle between the two beasts. Su Yun is still running the Xianing Ju, covering his body and moving slowly towards the battlefield. Once he encounters a rather powerful aftermath, he will immediately return to the system space, with the help of the soul art. His soul is already extremely powerful, and his reaction power is also very fast. It is simply not comparable to the big fighters of the same level. Therefore, without encountering any attack, he came to the vicinity of the battlefield without any danger. Su Yun stayed in the system space and did not attempt to get closer. This distance is already very close, there is no need to take any more risks. Su Yun's heart beat extremely fast, he was panting heavily, and a little cold sweat broke out on his face. Really exciting. Using the strength of a great fighter to plan the remains of a sixth-order monster, this move is simply crazy. Just as Su Yun approached the battlefield, the two beasts engaged in several rounds of fighting games. Several holes appeared on the body of the ice double-headed beast, and the amethyst-winged lion king almost lost its intact skin. The bodies of the two beasts were covered with blood, and the smell of blood permeated the air. The two beasts were already red-eyed, and they didn't care about their injuries. Chapter 58 Theory of Cultivation Techniques, Second Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a while, the aura of the two beasts weakened significantly. The ice two-headed dog was panting heavily, its breath shrinking, and it was obviously powerless. Amethyst Wing Master seized the opportunity, and the sharp horns passed through the body of the two-headed dog again. The ice two-headed dog fell to the ground in response, kicking up huge dust on the ground. Seeing this, King Amethyst Wing also lay down on the ground. Its corner pierced the ice two-headed dog's vitals, but it also struggled and was seriously injured. The amethyst-winged lion king sensed the injuries on his body, thinking of the other amethyst-winged lion king and its child still inhabiting the cave. It's all worth it. When the thought flashed, it suddenly felt that its eyelids were fighting. Am I dying? The huge lion head of the amethyst-winged lion king hangs down weakly. It's now. Seeing this, Su Yun immediately came out of the system space, using Xian Wing. Fighting spirit is instilled in it like no money. A sound of sonic boom resounded in the sky of Warcraft mountains, and strangely, there was nothing in the sky except the white clouds torn into pieces by the aftermath. Su Yun was very close to the two beasts, but within half a minute, Su Yun came to the side of the two beasts. System, recover the body of the amethyst-winged lion king. Ding, it was detected that the amethyst-winged lion king is dead, and the recovery was successful. Recover the body of the two-headed ice dog. Ding, it was detected that the two-headed ice dog is dead, and the recovery was successful. The mechanized sound of the system emerged in Su Yun's mind. At this moment, he felt that it was simply the sound of nature, the most beautiful music in the world. Suddenly, Su Yun's eyes lit up, and there were monsters rushing towards this direction in the distance. Tier 5 Warcraft. It's the three-headed fifth-order monsters in the Warcraft mountains. Without any hesitation, Su Yun activated Xian Wing instantly, kicking up a large amount of dust on the ground and sweeping it into the air. Pushing Xiunyi with all his strength, Su Yun flew out of the Warcraft mountain range. How fast Xiunyi is under full force, it is comparable to the speed of a wind-type Dohuang. In the Great Tagore Desert, even Yunyun could only catch up with her fighting skills. Su Yun grabbed a handful of Qi Dansai from the system space and put it in the entrance. Feeling the crazy consumption of fighting energy in his body, Su Yun felt a little ashamed. This thing returns quickly, but the battle energy consumption is not low at all. Now that he is still maintaining the Xianing Ju, and is running Xian Wing at full strength, he doesn't know if the battle energy in his body can make him fly out of the Warcraft mountains. At this time, in Su Yun's soul perception, a powerful wind blade hit him from the ground. Su Yun's expression changed very quickly. It was too late. Xiunyi's speed was so fast, under this inertia, he couldn't control his body to turn at all. Su Yun's heart moved, and before the wind blade hit him, he returned to the system space. Su Yun put away Xian Wing, and cast the flame cover in the system space. After rolling a few times on the ground, Su Yun finally stopped. Su Yun stood up and tidied up his clothes. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he observed the outside world from the system space. The Gale Tiger is a fifth-order Gale Tiger. Su Yun frowned. It is not too late for a gentleman to take revenge for 10 years. It is no exaggeration to say that with his strength, 10 of him can make this Tier 5 Gale Tiger die. Su Yun smiled awkwardly, and gave up his current plan of revenge. His moral bottom line is very flexible, and he can switch between a villain and a gentleman at any time. In the Warcraft mountains, a trace of doubt flashed in Gefenga's eyes. According to its induction, that invisible ghost should be in that position, but why did its wind blade go straight through? Gale Tiger and the other two fifth-tier monsters confronted each other on the ground. However, they have no intention of doing anything. It is normal for Warcraft to devour each other to the corpse. They just sensed that the auras of the Amethyst-winged Lion King and the Ice Two-Headed Dog had all disappeared, so they came out to pick up the leak. It's just that now that someone has taken the lead, they naturally have no reason to do it. At this time, a weak and sad roar came from a cave. The three fifth-order monsters looked at each other, and immediately left the place and returned to their habitat. Su Yun observed all movements in the Warcraft mountains. After the battle, many monsters came out again, including some tier 4 monsters. It's just that he has no intention of fighting. The purple fire lifted from the body of the purple crystal wing Master King was enough for him to break through the fighting spirit. Su Yun swallowed some chi recovery pills in the system space. After sitting cross-legged to practice, the battle energy in the body was fully restored, and he used Xian Wing and Phantom Art to reappear above the Warcraft mountains. Su Yun breathed out, although the original goal was not achieved, but fortunately the result was good. He even picked up 2 6th-order magic cores for nothing. Su Yun has an urge to upgrade Fenhanju immediately. 6th-order magic core, you can directly upgrade Fenhanju to an advanced Earth-level exercise. But then, Su Yun suppressed this impulse again. Although the advanced Earth-level exercises are good, they are not suitable for him now. In fact, 2 points are faintly revealed in the original book. First, when Xiao Yan's talent recovered and with the help of Yao Lao, Xiao Suner once again provided Xiao Yan with a volume of fire attribute Kung Fu, a high-level mysterious Kung Fu known Yan Ju. Second, when he was at Canaan Academy, Xiao Yan got the mid-level exercise 9 layers of Phoenix Fire Ju in Zongbao Pavilion, and gave it to Xiao Suner. After Xiao Suner took it, he said it was just for excessive use. These 2 points actually revealed a message. When the cultivation base is not high, it is best not to practice too high a skill, otherwise the cultivation speed is too fast, the foundation is not strong, and you will be stuck when you reach a certain level. When Xiao Yan broke through the dojo, Yao Lao also gave him a volume of Earth-level low-level exercises and Fenju. It is also out of this consideration. Even if Xiao Yan has been sucked by Yao Lao for 3 years, his foundation is extremely solid, and there is another 3-year agreement in front of him, and he urgently needs to improve his strength. Yao Lao only gave him low-level exercises. Now his Fenhanju is already a high-level Xian-level exercise, which is not low in the overweight empire, and after devouring Qinglian's heart fire, no matter what, it will evolve into a low-level Earth-level skill. Therefore, there is no need to directly evolve into advanced Earth-level exercises. A skyscraper can only be built with a solid foundation. With this in mind, Su Yun came back to his senses, urged Xian Wings, and flew out of the demonic beast mountain range. Speaking of exercises, Su Yun thought of one thing. Xiao Yan, this kid, broke through as a doja in advance because of chi gathering dissipation, and after 2 months of cultivation, he has a 2-star doja level, probably because he has practiced the known Yan Ju given by Xiao Suner. Xiao Yan's talent is indeed not bad, but if he is practicing the Xiao family's high-level Huan-level Kung Fu refining fire, he should not be able to practice so fast. Chapter 59 Condensing Tinder, 3rd update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This kid, is he really eating soft food? A trace of envy flashed in Su Yun's heart. To be honest, Fu Luoli is very fragrant. If his surname was Xiao, maybe when he was 4 years old, he would really try to hug his thigh. It's just a pity, if there is no if, he will not be able to board this big ship. Su Yun shook this thought out of his mind. The progress of his cultivation over the years has given him a little confidence. With his foresight and systematic ability, he is also qualified to reach the top. It's just rich lowly, it will only affect the speed of his cultivation. When Su Yunfei returned home, the fighting energy in his body was consumed a lot. He sat down cross-legged, restored the fighting energy to its full strength, and entered the system space again. The body of the Amethyst-winged Lion King is so huge that he can't fit it in his small courtyard. For Su Yun, the system space is the safest place. It is a long and cumbersome process to extract the Zihua's kindling from the purple crystal wing Master King, and it must not be disturbed in the middle, otherwise it is easy to fall short. Therefore, Su Yun is going to extract it in the system space. Coming to the system space, the huge body of King Amethyst Wing came into view. From Su Yun's perspective, it looked like a hill. Comparing the two, Su-yun looks rather insignificant, picking up corpses is a beautiful thing. Su-yun looked at the huge monster in front of him, and nodded in satisfaction. Su-yun got ready, sat down cross-legged, his whole body was boiling with fighting energy, the fighting energy surged through his meridians, and a soft sound came out through Su-yun's body. Su-yun put his palm on the bloody body of the amethyst-winged Lion King, closed his eyes, and mobilized his soul power. Combat chi and soul power were exerted at the same time, drawing the purple fire covering the whole body of King Amethyst Wing Master to one direction. The body of the amethyst-winged Lion King emitted a faint purple light, and the temperature of his whole body rose slowly. Su-yun frowned, and focused all his attention on the amethyst-winged Lion King, not daring to relax in the slightest. Su-yun gradually increased the transmission of fighting energy and soul power, which was not a small amount of work. If you come with an ordinary big fighter, you can't do it at all. It's just that Su-yun was a human being in 2 lifetimes, and his soul power was naturally very strong, and he also practiced soul art. With his soul power skyrocketing, he was not something a so-called 4th-grade pharmacist could touch. There is also the experience of Yao Lao and Jingli Yaoxing in playing with fire, which can make full use of fighting energy and soul power without wasting a single bit. The combination of all these backgrounds allowed him to barely extract fire from 6th-order monsters with the cultivation base of a great fighter. With the passage of time, the fighting energy in Su-yun's body was consumed rapidly, and there was a trace of sweat on his forehead. Su-yun's teeth moved slightly, and he swallowed the huichi pill that had already been contained in his mouth. After a while, the purple fire in the body of the amethyst-winged Lion King was almost completely gathered. Su-yun gritted his teeth. He has reached the last step. The previous process has been passed smoothly. This is the only thing missing. We can't waste all our efforts. Condensation. Su-yun let out a low shout, and the input of soul power and battle energy increased again, and a light spot with purple flame rose from the body of Master King Amethyst Wing. Su-yun was overjoyed when he saw it. It was a success. Take out a special jade bottle and put it away carefully. Su-yun took a long breath, his eyes were full of fire. Dou Ling's level is not far away from him. At this level, there are more things he can do. First of all, as he breaks through the Dou Ling, the battle energy in his body will also skyrocket. Needless to say, the increase in strength. More importantly, at this level, he can already refine 5th-grade pills. The thing that must be prepared to devour Qinglian's heart fire is the blood lotus pill, which is a 5th-grade elixir. He always planned to go to the Tagore Desert after breaking through the fighting spirit, and this blood lotus pill was one of the reasons. Although it can be fused with the system's fusion function, it still needs to consume a 5th-order magic core. It is not easy to get a magic core above the 5th level of the empire here. Even if he has the financial resources, it is hard to say whether there is circulation in the market. Tier 5 Warcraft corresponds to the king of fighters among human beings, and the number of them in the Plus Empire is very limited. Moreover, he hasn't practiced any Earth-level fighting skills yet, and he is still waiting for the 5th-level magic core to be fused with one for him to play with. Putting the jade bottle aside, Su-yun swallowed some chi recovery pills to restore the fighting chi to fullness. After recovering, Su-yun began to search for medicinal materials in the system space. The beast fire extracted from the 6th-order monster, even if it cannot touch the porcelain fire, it is not something a great fighter can absorb without preparation. The 2nd-grade elixirs Humai pill and Bing Xian pill used to devour the 2 4th-tier beast fires before were no longer effective. The level was too low after all. He intends to refine a 4th-grade elixir, which can condense a thin layer of ice in Dou's body, which is more than enough to refine the purple fire. Su-yun rummaged carefully, suddenly embarrassed. The medicinal materials are enough, but the magic core is missing. To refine this thing, a 4th-order ice-type magic core is needed. The 4th-order magic core is easy to talk about, but the ice attribute is useless. Su-yun sighed. In the end, he still had to find a 4th-order monster. Life is a subject that can only be completed in a lifetime. After going around and around, it still returns to the original point. There is not enough time today. It is already dark. Su-yun practiced all night and took a short rest. The next day, he went to the Warcraft mountain range again. In the sky, Su-yun used the phantom art to hide himself, and flew in the sky with Xian wings. Su-yun frowned. There are quite a lot of tier 4 monsters. but Tier 4 monsters of the ice system are not so easy to find. Suyun flew in the sky and began to look for lakes in cold and damp places. Generally speaking, Warcraft will choose a place to inhabit according to its own attributes. For example, fire attribute monsters like to live in some volcanoes or hot areas, and earth attribute monsters like to stay in caves, or even escape into the soil. The ice field is naturally the favorite place for ice attribute monsters. It's just that this is not the place in the extreme north that is cold all year round, and there are no ice fields. He had no choice but to look for lakes in cold and damp places. The monster mountain range is so huge, and Suyun has to maintain the Phantom Art and Zayunyi, which consumes a lot of battle energy. Therefore, every once in a while, Suyun would return to the system space to recover his fighting spirit, and then search again. Feifei stopped, and after a day, Suyun still couldn't find it, but he was not discouraged, and he returned to the days when he stayed in the Warcraft Mountains. He searched the Warcraft Mountains during the day and returned to the system space to practice at night. After 3 more days like this, things finally ushered in a turning point. In a gloomy and damp cave, 2 fourth-order monsters are inhabiting it. And Suyun is standing at the entrance of the cave now, slowly stepped into the entrance of the cave without making any sound, and his figure and breath were also covered by the Phantom Art. Chapter 60 Hard Fight, 4th Update. 3000 Reward Plus Update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suyun used his soul perception to check the situation inside the cave. In Suyun's soul perception, the 2 not weak battle chi are like 2 torches, which are extremely conspicuous. A piercing chill, like a fountain of ice, freezes everyone who tries to get close. The other breath is deep, with a damp smell, like a calm lake, seemingly calm, but in fact, the dark tide is surging. Suyun narrowed his eyes and had a plan in mind. That's right. Judging from the fluctuations in these 2 battle chi. An attribute breath, it should be a 4th-order monster of the ice system and a 4th-order monster of the water system. Facing 2 4th-order monsters at the same time, a fighting spirit surged in Suyun's heart. This battle is likely to be fierce. He has a full body configuration, and it is not impossible to leapfrog challenges, and if the enemy is clear and we are dark, he cannot talk about martial arts for a while. Suyun's steps were very light, and he didn't make the slightest sound in the cave. Suyun walked from the entrance of the cave to the depths of the cave, and did not disturb the 2 4th-order monsters. Walking into the cave, a gust of cold air hits the face. The cave is gloomy, there is no sunlight from the outside, and the sound of dripping water can be heard faintly. This cave is not too small, otherwise it would not be selected by 2 4th-order monsters. Suyun nodded secretly. That's fine, there are no other monsters here near this cave. The monsters have a strong sense of territory. If other monsters try to come here, they will probably be driven out by these 2 4th-order monsters. This also happened to be convenient for him. Moreover, this cave is quite large, with thick rock formations and good sound insulation. When the battle starts, there is no need to worry that other monsters will come upon hearing the news. Walking to the side of the 2 4th-order monsters, they were completely unaware of the danger and were still sleeping soundly. During the hot day, Warcraft will not only choose the environment according to the likes and dislikes of its own attributes, but also choose the active time. Apparently these 2 like to move around at night. Suyun grinned, and took out a short black stick from the system space, and a 4th-order fire attribute magic core was embedded in the front end of the short stick. The Dou Qi in the body surged like a flood in the major meridians in the body, and the waves were turbulent. The short stick in his hand flashed a dark red light, and a not-so-weak fighting spirit condensed in it, making a muffled sound. It was this sound that finally awakened the 2 4th-order monsters who were sleeping soundly, and a trace of vigilance flashed in the pupils of the 2 beasts. Limbs turned, trying to get up. However, the fighting skills of the old silver coin had already been prepared, and before the 2 beasts got up, Suyun smashed a stick on the head of one of the 4th-order monsters. Mysterious advanced fighting technique, Yin-Yang Cudgel. A kind of stick fighting technique, in which a huge fire attribute fighting energy is condensed on the stick body, and then swung out. It can produce great lethality. These 2 4th-order monsters are both snakes, similar to the water snakes in the previous life, with a rather huge body. The Shang Xian level high-level fighting skills are so powerful that Suyun hit a water attribute 4th-level monster. The water attribute is known for its recovery and stamina, but not its defense. Without Any precautions, it was hit by Su Yun's Desheng Xian rank high-level fighting skills with all its strength, and its head was directly blown open, red and white things splashed around, and the clothes on Su Yun's body were also stained red with blood. One blow worked, and before Su Yun could smile, another huge snake tail of an ice attribute snake came towards him with a heavy momentum. Profound shadow step. Su Yun took mysterious steps under his feet, and dodged the attack at the critical moment. The huge snake tail fell to the position where Su Yun was originally standing, causing huge water splashes, and the ground was also shaken. Su Yun licked his dry tongue. He could survive in the Warcraft mountain range, and the 4th order Warcraft in a corner is not a fuel-efficient lamp. Just that blow, if he hadn't dodged quickly, just one blow would have seriously injured him. Su Yun clenched the short stick in his hand. Just now he was able to kill another tier 4 monster with one blow, and this tier 4 magic nuclear weapon also contributed a lot. Desheng single-body high-level mysterious fighting skills, 4th level magic nuclear weapons, and the blessing of high-level mysterious skills, coupled with the sneak attack, the 4th level monsters were completely defenseless. The combination of all these reasons made him seem to have easily killed the 4th order monster in seconds, but in fact, this does not mean that the 4th tier monsters are not strong. With his current strength, if he wants to fight the 4th tier monsters head-on, it will take a lot of effort. Su Yun set up his posture and fixed his eyes on the 4th order ice snake in front of him. It might be a tough fight. The ice snake's attack failed, and the humanized snake pupils were a little annoyed. Seeing the headshot corpse of his companion, the whole body of the snake trembled and was extremely angry. With a neighing sound, the ice snake spit out its snake core, wriggled continuously on the ground, circled left and right, and rushed to Su Yun in a short while. The coldness flashed across Su Yun's eyes, and fighting spirit gathered in his hands. The ice snake had a big snake mouth, and 2 sharp fangs were exposed in the bloody mouth, as if it wanted to swallow Su Yun in one gulp. The snake's head suddenly accelerated, leaving an afterimage in the air, and bit Su Yun's head. Su Yun ran the mysterious shadow step again. The steps under his feet drove his whole body, and turned slightly to one side, dodging this attack. At the same time, Su Yun's right hand suddenly slammed towards the ice snake's body. Just when Su Yun's fist was about to hit it, the huge snake body looks bulky, but it is flexible. Strangely sticking to Su Yun's fist, he spared the attack, and the snake body began to wrap around Su Yun's arm, but in the blink of an eye, the whole body of the ice snake wrapped around Su Yun's body. Su Yun's face changed, and he thought of a word: strangle. Sure enough, the next moment, the snake body wrapped around the whole body immediately began to exert strength, and a sense of tension came from all parts of the body. Although Su Yun was shocked, he didn't panic. The monster's physical body was strong, and it was impossible to break free with brute force. Su Yun's heart moved, and the battle energy in his body began to boil, and his whole body exuded extremely high temperature. 2 flames of different colors appeared on him, one green and the other pink. At the same time, a layer of armor and a layer of shield appeared around the body. Flame cover. Dou Qi transformation armor. Under the 2 layers of protection, the pressure on Su Yun's body disappeared immediately. The ice snake's face was in pain, and 2 kinds of flames were burning its body, but it didn't want to miss such a good opportunity, and against the burning, the snake body exerted strength again. 1 person and 1 snake stood in a stalemate for a while, and as time went by, the ice snake took the initiative to retract the snake body wrapped around Su Yun's body and moved it far away. Su Yun also heaved a sigh of relief, retracted the flame cover, and still maintained the state of fighting spirit. Tier 4 Warcraft should not be underestimated. Moreover, the snake body of the snake monster is flexible and soft, and the Bajabang, which has always been invincible in the past, missed for the first time. On the contrary, the 2 beast fires that Su Yun regarded as tasteless before showed miraculous effects. Su Yun frowned. This magic core might not be easy to hold.